How to regain power in a fight with a narcissist. If you're in conflict with a narcissistic ex, then this video is for you. And let's face it, narcissists love a good fight, don't they? It really energises them. But did you know you can stop the fight and still win? By the end of this video, you will know how you can defeat the ex and win the real fight and regain power. It's in 3 stages and it's a deep dive, so stay buckled in. Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and I help midlife women get their confidence and radiance back after divorcing a toxic ex. So first, let's talk about the fight. Not necessarily the obvious ones, the arguments and the court cases and so on. But first, it's about the internal fight, the ones you have in your mind. I will also talk about the legal battles later in the video, so please stay tuned for that. But the internal fight, the constant readiness and hypervigilance, the rehearsing of scenarios, the proving and backing up of points, the bracing for impact, just waiting for the shoe to drop. This fight lives on in your nervous system and the constant looping and activation of trauma. And as long as it's there, part of you is still living with the narcissist even in their absence. So reducing the looping thoughts by paying attention to your nervous system, learning how to re-regulate on this issue will stop the need for your mind to keep up the internal fight. The second stage to this, to claim your win, starts with an old Buddhist story that can help our understanding and awareness. It goes like this. A hunter has placed some nuts in the hole of a tree and the monkey finds itself trapped by grabbing the food inside the hole. He's unable to pull his fist out, yet he's also refusing to let go of the nuts to escape. So holding on to his nuts becomes a final mistake, and this illustrates how refusal to let go can lead to dreadful outcomes. So back to real life, how does this apply to us? Stopping the fight does not mean becoming passive or ineffectual. It means shifting from pure knee-jerk reactions, which narcissists absolutely love, by the way, to becoming self-partnered, calm, and using rational strategies to manage conflict. This is totally counterintuitive. Letting go of the perceived prize has an incredible effect on the conflict with a narcissist, so keep listening. There is a profound energetic law at play here, and this is how it reveals in your situation. What you no longer emotionally engage with just loses its power. When you no longer need the narcissist to be wrong for you to be okay, something remarkable happens. Your body softens, your mind clears, and your life begins to expand. It's a kind of physical and mental letting go. But it just doesn't stop there. The benefits continue for you. Stay with me to find out more. And many people fear that if they let go, the narcissist wins. But here's the truth. The narcissist only has power when they can affect you emotionally. When they can't, they just leave your experience. This isn't theory, it's an observable reality. It happened to me in the following ways. There were times when I would have the thought about what the ex was or wasn't doing, and the loop would try to keep playing out a little in my mind. Then I wasn't at all surprised that I would actually see the ex in his car, waiting at the GP's, or see him in the supermarket. It was a bit freaky, to be honest. But it was enough to validate what happens when I was still giving some energy to the narcissist. So I knew in those times I still had some trauma to work out of my nervous system. So I would do more work on that. And if you're curious about getting my help, just click the link below to join the priority list for my affordable group programme. and you will get all the information that you need. From the women I have supported, they often report that once they genuinely stop fighting, ceasing the emotional reaction and internally releasing the need to fight, their circumstances shift, often very dramatically. Legal situations resolve. Smear campaigns collapse. Support appears when they need it. Not because they forced outcomes, but because they stopped feeding the situation with energy and the need to hold on. But not by being passive either, letting the courts do their work, letting the systems help them. In my experience early on, when I was trying to detach as much as possible, when there was police involvement, I felt totally supported by the police, by social services, by the justice system, and support appeared when I really needed it, all because I was working my butt off to clear the need to fight and get justice and validation about what had happened to me. And I eventually emotionally let go of it all, letting the systems, lawyers and courts do their thing. You can read about my story, in fact, in this video here. Stay tuned because this is the final segment and it reveals how you can claim ultimate victory over the narcissist. I'm so glad you've made it this far. Let's go a little further and a little deeper. Ultimately, your power doesn't come from justice alone. It comes from your own alignment. Alignment with the truest version of yourself, with the truth of who you are, your values, your whole credo for life, free from the survival beliefs that kept you stuck, and with the peace that you can feel after the storm of abuse. That is the victory that cannot be taken from you by anyone, least of all the narcissist. So if you're interested in how you can get free and detach from your toxic ex, then I have something for you. It's called the Rise After Divorce programme, and it's designed to help midlife women get over the toxic split and live their best lives ever. Click the link in the comments and I'll send you everything you need to know. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.